Hi there, this is Chris Wilson, one of the hosts of the Strong by Design podcast. Thanks so much for clicking this video. I sat down with Mike Westerdal and Elliott Hulse to talk about his rational fasting program. It's unbelievable, and I know you're going to want to find out more about it. Here are some of the highlights in this video, but if you want the full episode, go to strongbydesignpodcast.com. Enjoy.
Let's go into day 2 first.
You want to go day 2? All right, we'll skip.
Here's
we'll
the
go
thing.
back.
When
We'll
you
go
listen to
backwards.
this podcast,
Yeah.
you're going to be ready to do this, and Elliott doesn't care. He wants you to do this.
Right.
You know, if you want the nuances, you want the details, you'll go, make a donation and grab a copy of the exact blueprint, step by step, exactly how to do it. But just from listening to us, you're going to figure out how this works and what the benefits are. So we're not trying to hide anything. We're going to share what we did.
Yep.
And day two, that was more of the withdrawal stuff, right? Day 1 was your demons. Day 2, you can actually get some physical symptoms of this change of not eating.
Mm-hmm. So according to Arnold Ehret, who was a very influential with me in learning about fasting and doing fasting, he was an inspiration. He was a German genius at the late 1800s, early 1900s. I forgot what I was talking about.
I was looking at your hat
yeah,
again.
detox.
Yeah, detoxing.
Yeah, sorry.
Physiological.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he says that when we stop eating, that's when our body then goes to detoxing. You immediately go to getting rid of toxins that have been building up, and your vital resources just hadn't been available, and there just wasn't enough of it in order to clean it up, to clear it up. So he uses this example. If you are wanting to fix a road, right? The only way you're going to be able to fix this road, and we live in Florida, over here, they're always fixing these friggin' roads. It was weird coming over here. All these bridges that were there are no longer there, and there are all these new pathways. But in order to make that happen, they have to shut down the road. You can't fix and reconfigure the road unless you shut down traffic. And so when we stop eating, we're shutting down traffic to our body. Our body has to deal with that.
People asked us about it. They noticed you lost weight. What did you do? And you mentioned some of this, and immediately you kind of get this standard response from people like, "Oh, I could never do that.
Yeah.
I get too hangry, or my blood sugar. Like, what's all this hang up that everybody's got on how they need the food so much? Like, why does everyone think they can't do it? Because we thought we couldn't do it,
right.
And then I saw 14 days with an exact plan. I'm like, let me just follow this plan, and I'm gonna do it, even though we think we can't do it. Right. It's like, what's the deal? Why does everyone think they can't do it? When really, we were like that, and we did it.
Yep. It's weakness. It's weakness, It's mental weakness, mental, physical, emotional weakness. And so we get to battle that weakness and come out on the other end. And the best way to start fighting that battle is just with a simple nomad. Just go to bed tonight without eating dinner. You're going to have all kinds of resistance, but know that you're not going to die. And that will be a champion. That will be a win in the face of fear.
Now you had a sample for people that kind of 14 days felt like a lot. It was was it a 5-day?
Yeah.
So where can people get that? Is that still available?
Yeah, if you go to my YouTube channel, I made a bunch of videos called 5-Day Fasting Challenge, and before even launching the ebook, I just basically gave it away to everybody.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I'm going to do this. Here's the thing. I've been doing this fasting practice. I've been fasting since 2002, but knowing that I've chosen to make it a lifestyle, it's something that I'm doing often and I'll continue to do often. I realized that the easiest thing for me to do is just do it alongside everyone else. Hey guys, I was going to do the fast anyway, so I was like, I'll just make some YouTube videos and tell everybody what I'm doing and ask them to join me, and you can do that. But you really listen. You don't even have to start. You don't have to start with 5 days. Don't even think about it that way. Think about it as 1 day without eating. You don't eat for a whole day. Skip breakfast, skip lunch, skip dinner, go to sleep, and then wake up the next day. If you're fat adapted, it's not a big deal. Like you can have some carbs.
Right.
The whole idea is not to stay. It's not the ketogenic diet that really helps. It's getting into ketosis through fasting. That's what we're doing. The true ketogenic diet is fasting. So it's through the fasting. So if you do eat a meal that's not keto, once you're fat adapted, which usually takes about, if you're fasting, three days to 2 weeks, something like that. Right? But with, and 2 weeks is a long time. Like within 3 days, you're in ketosis with fasting. With ketogenic diet, you have to eat ketogenic food only for like 10 days before you get into ketosis.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
With fasting, 72 hours, we had those strips, the ketone strips, checking with the urine and in ketosis by that 72 hours on the third day of not eating. You accelerate it by adding some exercise in too, but fasting with exercise, from what I've read online, and if you could confirm, seemed like the fastest way to get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So if you have like the cheeseburger with the bread, if you're fat adapted, it's not that big a deal. Your insulin will spike. It'll go up. It'll come right back down. Within a couple of hours, overnight, you'll be back in ketosis.
See, learning more stuff. This wasn't in the book.
Yeah.
Or I missed that page.
Yeah. And you just abide by the eating windows.
Yeah.
So what about your experience? I saw you at Vince Delmonte's seminar conference thing that he had over at Clearwater Beach, and at first I'm like, that guy looks a lot like my friend Elliott, and then I'm like, wait, that is him.
Yeah.
I was like, didn't recognize you at first. I was like, you are able to like transform your physique very fast. Like, what did you do during that time? Were you in a 14-day fast, or had you been going longer?
So that was February, and I started these stints of prolonged fasting back in the end of November when I got back from Europe. And so I had been doing, I journaled it all, but just between then and when you saw me, I had been doing various stints of 3-day and 5-day fasting.
See, I told you, pretty amazing stuff. And if you want to find out more, please click here, which will send you directly to that full episode. And here are some of our other favorite podcasts. Thank you for watching.